Good evening, fellers. Time for the old GFFL podcast. Thought I'd try and get it up this week on Tuesday because of the holiday and such. I know some of you may be traveling, some of you may not be. Some of you may be on your roof with your kid hanging lights. Chris, he's my only fan. Please do not throw him off that roof, whatever you do. So, anyhow, a lot of action on the message board this week. Some stuff, big games coming up, but just to kind of recap last week, the commissioner beat me 72-65. If you reference back to last week's podcast, I kind of made mention how I was kind of afraid the Browns might stifle my team a little bit, and of course it happened. They couldn't stop Le'Veon Bell, but they shut down Ben Roethlisberger and Mr. Brown. And that kind of hurt things. So 72-65, commissioner takes it. My downward spiral continues. Was at 7-2, now I'm 6-2. Now I'm 6-5. I think Jonesy might have rubbed off on me. I'm not so sure. So speaking of Jonesy, Chris took him to the woodshed and beat him 88-55. Big win for Chris to go 7-4 to keep pace in our tough division. Commissioner's now 8-3. Tony ekes by Fish 57-53. Fish had a chance to win this game and fell on his face. Not good. Greg edges out Wade 73-69. Big win for Greg. Tough loss for Wade. And then the game of the week, Kurz ties again. Another week, back-to-back weeks with a tie. This week, he loses to Rickman by tie break. So Rickman beats Kurz. Tough loss for Kurz there. He was starting to gain some momentum, and this may hurt his chances of making it to playoffs. A lot of action this week, which I'm quite proud of, but sad to see us all lose the way when we lose to tie break, as I can testify to that. What killed Kurz was Newton didn't have a very good game for him this week. Amari Cooper got him to the tie, but his bench didn't have much for him. But the Vikings D for Dennis had 20 points for him. And that was really the big difference in the game for us. So that's kind of what that happens. I apologize for the technical difficulties and the video screen going everywhere. I'm kind of jumping all over the board here with it. So, but was definitely a tough week for everybody. So we'll see how it all plays out. Going into this week's game, 3 big games on Thursdays, fellas, so make sure you get your lineups in early. Me and Greg face off in a good one right now, 110.99. Flea Flicker has me favored. Brad playing Kurz. Brad's favored 113.97. Chris faces Dennis Ivan Rickman. Chris is favored 119.85. Jonesy faces Tony 83.80 is a projection there. And Wade faces Fish. Wade's projected to win 95.68. Fish, if you're not too busy getting your colon cleaned by the dryer, maybe you can put together a good score this week. So that's kind of where we're at this week on scores. Hopefully it'll be a good week for everybody and all that. But I think ultimately this week, the game of the week is really going to see what happens between Dennis and Chris. If Dennis pulls off a win, it makes his division crazy. If Chris pulls off a win in our league, it makes it really crazy. So we'll see how it plays out. Other news, I'm trying to think what other news there was. A lot of action by way of waiver wire. Some guys everybody's playing out their waiver wire transactions, which I don't blame you. So it is that time of year to do that. So bear with me as I'm walking around checking on the dog, make sure she's not peeing somewhere she shouldn't be or pooping. So, but yeah, so good week all in all. So kind of figure I'd give you guys a tour of the house. This is my sports room, as you can tell. Bubba and Company. If you can see there, Tom Crean, autographed basketball. Tom Crean, autographed picture. My pride and joy right there That is Barry Larkin when he was a rookie, like 87-ish. And that's my brother John, my brother Ben, and myself. My wife says I look like a dork in that picture. I said, well, I was much younger then. So, bobblehead collection. Brandon Phillips, I know a lot of you guys hate him. The Nasty Boys. Katie got that one for me. I love that one. Matt Latos and Joey Votto came from my dad. Hank the bobblehead dog. You see the guys from the game day crew. Chris Fowler's in this one. Let me see if you can see that. Fowler's in that one. So there's my autograph picture of Reggie Jackson. I just picked that up not too long ago. This is one piece I haven't got autographed yet that I want to. It's senior and junior, and both are rookie cards. Pretty nice piece. I like it a lot. This is kind of, I keep a lot of my expensive autograph collection stuff and upstairs because I don't want to keep it in the basement. But all my baseball cards are downstairs, and I'm working on that project alone. Here's one piece I got recently. I got with the Reggie Jackson piece, which I'm crazy about. Is this here is autograph Reds pennant. If you can, as you can see there in the Red Sea, there's Pete Rose, Rob Murphy, John Franco, Terry Francona's signatures on there, Frank Williams, a lot of guys. Buddy Bell's on there, Ron Robinson, Terry McGriff, or not Terry, I think it's Terry McGriff, yeah, Paul O'Neill. The piece was signed right before he got suspended, I'm pretty sure of it, so I'm thinking late 80s. So in honor of the great Tony Stewart, there's an autograph shirt I got of him.